Hey everyone, this video is not sponsored. I wanted you to know that because I'm going to mention a few places to shop and a few products that have helped me. But it's not sponsored, it's all just what's worked for me and I wanted to share it. So, not yesterday, Friday, but Friday, March 20th, and then the next day, Saturday, last Saturday, March 21st, I had just a very minor scratch in my throat. I didn't think much of it, but that Saturday night I stayed up way too late. I got very little sleep, and when I woke up Sunday, it was like bang. Something was really wrong. I knew it was really, really wrong. My lungs had that quiver, compulsion to cough, like when I felt like when I had a whooping cough several years ago. It's an unmistakable feeling, and I don't have whooping cough now, I can tell you that. Whooping cough is a bacterial infection, and whooping cough jumps from family member to family member, and it's really hard to, I don't want to get too much on the whooping cough, but if you've ever had it, you know, that's why I bring it up. And it felt like that. So I knew, oh goodness, something is really wrong with my lungs. I need to take my antivirals. So I started immediately to take my antivirals. And at that point, I had to take them day and night, every 2 hours. Every 2 hours, I had to take those antivirals. And my inhaler, which when I'm healthy, I don't really need to take much at all. Definitely not regularly. But now I have to take it regularly. And I was taking it every 4 hours. Also, I had to wear a neck gaiter or something to keep my neck warm. At some point, I was wearing 2 of them, or I would have the uncontrollable urge to cough. And last Sunday, I woke up with that feeling, started taking my antivirals, and that night, and my fever kept climbing. I also woke up with a fever. Like I said, I knew something was wrong. I didn't feel right. And that night, my fever climbed to 103.7. And, I kept telling myself, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I didn't take any Tylenol, but my husband really urged me. He said, if it gets too high, you need to take a Tylenol. And at 104, that's when it gets too high. And so pretty much throughout the whole day, I'm like, I'm not taking a Tylenol. This fever needs to burn out whatever inside of me. But I got to tell you, when I got up to 103.7, my face got flush. I felt odd, like bad, like this is too high of a fever, and if it gets to 104, yeah, I'm going to take that Tylenol. But it didn't make it that high, thank goodness. And the fever broke, and I thought, okay, yeah, I'm going to get better now. I had to. I just wanted you to know I had to cover my breath when I would try to sleep. Like if I'd be on my side, I had to put the blanket up so that the air would warm, so that I wouldn't cough. So it's all about keeping everything warm. And by the way, UCLA won't test me. I do not meet the LA County criteria. I'm not 65 or older, and I don't have these worse conditions, even though I think what I'm going through is I should get tested for it, but I don't meet the criteria. And if there's other people like me and they're not getting tested, it's no wonder the numbers for LA are so low. I'm just going to leave it like that. I mean, you look at that Johns Hopkins map, and it's like a champagne glass with some bubbles at the bottom of it. How much? I'm doubting it's that low. Anyway, okay, back to my cards. So those antivirals saved me because UCLA really couldn't help me. I have a fantastic doctor. I do. I really care about my doctor. He has really helped me out. He's helped my husband out. But the only thing he could tell me was stay hydrated and stay away from your family. So those antivirals and that inhaler saved me. So that was last Sunday. Sunday through Thursday, I went back and forth with how I felt. My fever, it never got up to that high again, but it would go up and then it would go down, and And sometimes it went up to, one time it got up almost to like 102, like a couple days after that Sunday spike. And that worried me. It really did. I would gain ground, I would lose ground. My lungs were sensitive all the time. And it felt like my body had a hard time regulating itself. I had no energy, no appetite. I felt nauseated. I didn't have any strength. I drank vegetable broth with salt and the resistant rice that I make. I have some plantain chips. It was almost kind of like this modified brat diet that I was on, which is probably why I didn't have much strength, but I just did not feel like eating much. Let me tell you, I did not feel like it at all. Now, last Thursday, a couple days ago, I ended a round of antibiotics for a UTI, and it actually wasn't my first round of antibiotics. It was a restart, but I ended it, and I had started it the previous Friday, the one where I got the scratch in my throat, and I didn't put the two and two together until the day after I stopped them. So I stopped them on Thursday. And then Friday, I took lots of probiotics because it's really important to me. If you've seen any of my other like vegan videos and things like that, my probiotics, I just really think we're symbiotes. We need them. We need them for health. And I got a turnaround, like an obvious turnaround on Friday, a couple days ago when I started taking probiotics. I got off the antibiotics. I started taking the probiotics. And I got my strength back. My body could regulate again. So yesterday, when I started the probiotics, I didn't need to take my antivirals every 2 hours. I took them every 4 hours with my inhaler. And today, Saturday, I take them both every 5 hours. So I am slowly gaining my strength. I'm really happy about that. I encourage you to have some antivirals on hand if you do not. iHerb.com carries a bunch, and they may be temporarily out of some things, but they seem to be getting them back in. I highly recommend them. They do have a limit of 4 per order, but that's more for a variety of people, and they'll restock them. I want to tell you, build your microbiome up. Fermented foods, good supplements. Stay away from extra sugar. It's so inflammatory. And pardon my hair, it's really... Today was the first day I could take a shower in like a week, and I'm really thankful. But my hair's still adjusting, I suppose. Anyway, take your omega-3s. I take the vegan omega-3. It's kind of half and half with EPA and DHA. And you get your pro-resolving mediators from your omegas, and those really help with inflammation. I highly recommend it. Stay in as much as possible in case you have, especially if you have microbiome issues. There's a good chance that this virus can hang in the air. The WHO has not pronounced that as a fact of life, but it could be a situation, which means, and if that's the case, someone could cough or just exhale if they have this virus, and you can walk right into it and not know it. You can be social distancing people, but if their virus is hanging in the air, you ain't going to social distance it. You're going to walk right into it unless you are wearing goggles and an N95 mask. Trust me, I might have caught something or was fighting something before I got on these antibiotics. I was wearing gloves. I was wiping everything down when I went out, but I was out with a lot of people doing food shopping after the WHO proclaimed it. I was doing it before the pandemic proclamation and after. I was around too many people, and had I known then what I know now, I would have stayed in after that first round of antibiotics. I think I was vulnerable. And I'm not saying don't take your antibiotics. You take what your doctor tells you to take. But recognize, without your microbiome, your immune system is not the same thing. All right, stay well. Take care. Bye bye.